Hey, it's Harrison from Breakthrough Couples. Today I want to talk to you about a 6-week trial separation. Some couples find themselves caught, trapped, ambivalent, not certain as to if they can commit, not clear that they can leave. Sometimes it's very involved. Sometimes they try to leave each other and they can't leave each other. They try multiple times to connect and they fail. It's one of these situations where they can't move on and they can't let go. So in this case, I usually recommend a 6-week trial separation. Okay, that will give both people an opportunity to experience some space from each other, some much needed space to get clear. Now, for that to happen, there's some logistics, obviously. If there's kids involved, or if there's a relative or a friend, or an Airbnb, there's different ways that you can set this up. Sometimes if there's kids involved, you can leave the kids there, and then each person can take a turn leaving for 1 week. And then you come back and you switch and the other person goes out. That's called nesting. Um, no matter how you do it though, you're looking for about 6 weeks of limited contact with each other, speaking only about logistics. And you're removing the pressure. You're removing the pressure. And during that time, there's some reading I usually give to each person, depending upon our intake and what I think they need. So you want to have someone else's thoughts in your head other than just your own, right? So there's some books that you could read. Um, Too Good to Leave, Too Bad to Stay is one of the books that I often refer to people. And during this time, you want to do daily journaling and you want to spend some time understanding who you were in that relationship and how you were less than the best version of yourself. You also want to have at least some contact with a coach or a therapist once or twice during that time, specifically, to organize your thinking and organize your thoughts and get clearer on the difference between grief and relief. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the ratio of grief to relief that comes over you during that time. Couples that need something like this can be a list of different reasons, but some of them are when there has been a movement on one person towards what I call a family love, not a romantic love. They find themselves feeling like a family love with this other person. And the other person wants more of a romantic love from them, but they can't seem to manifest that. They can't seem to want to touch and feel that feeling of romance for the other person anymore. Where did it go? What happened? And I'm not saying that anytime that happens to a relationship, you need a 6-week separation. 6-week trial separation comes after a long period of back and forth and being caught in the middle of like, do I have the capacity, or does my partner have the capacity to love me in a way that I want to be loved, right? So that's what we're looking for. More clarity and courage to understand who I became in this relationship and the ability, the courage to say that back to the other person. And we don't know. We don't know yet. It's hidden from us right now. And that's not a bad thing. It's a stressful thing. It's not necessarily bad. And don't make it bad and don't make each other bad because it's hidden. We don't know yet. So if you give each other some space, something usually happens where I call it a leaning. Someone starts leaning right now, somebody's leaning away and somebody's leaning towards them. Or both couples lean out and then back towards each other and out and back towards each other. That's also another. And so the 6-week separation, when you come back, you see whether or not people are both leaning towards each other or away from each other, or still if one is leaning in and the other person is leaning out. That's still like if you want to play ball and the other person doesn't want to play ball, we're not playing ball. And that's a sobering reckoning. And that's a different kind of conversation. But it's sad, but it may be true. And we want to face that and understand it. So what I tell people is don't break up because of a fight. Don't let a fight, like don't use the D words, like this, like I'm done, right? We're getting a divorce, right? Um, um, go for the 6-week trial separation so that you can experience what your life is like without that person, right? And do it with love instead of aggression, because you do love each other. We're just not sure anymore if they can receive the kind of love that you're giving, and if you can receive the kind of love that they're capable of giving. Okay, if you want to work with me, or if you want to know more about how I work, you can look me up on breakthroughcouples.com and subscribe below for more videos like this one.